if you're going to try and condense it and say to yourself, basic fundamental priorities for, because there's going to be a lot of people listening to this that don't shoot anywhere. Like, well, first of all, I don't shoot anywhere in your scope. And I'm a decent shot. Now there's a lot of people listening to this that will, really good shots, but for the guy that's like, wow, I really want to step it up. What would you say your basic fundamentals to the people that are really at a lower level to get to the next level would be?
As far as shooting, I would say, well, the thing that I see the most, I don't want to say harm, but the most waste, I guess, is people will go train with no purpose. And they'll go to the range and they'll say, I'm going to go train pistol draw. Like, okay, cool. If you, even me at my level, right? You tell me, hey, go down to the range and train pistol draw. All right. Say I start on an 8-inch plate at 10 yards and I draw in 2 seconds and I spend 1,000 rounds in an entire day. And at the end of the day, I'm at 1 second. Is that good or bad? I have no idea. Right. Because I didn't go down there with a purpose. And so for me, I'll tell you, if you want to go win a multi-gun national championship, you only need a 1.5 second pistol draw. Like almost everybody can do that with very little training. If you want to go win a steel challenge pistol tournament, you need a 70 draw. So I can go down to that range and train and be successful and unsuccessful at the same time because I didn't define what my path. And I tell everybody it's extremely similar to land nav, right? If land nav is the best example of training to me, I need a map and I need to know 2 things, right? I need to know where I'm at and where I'm going, right? Because if I just go down there to train, I'm just wandering around the woods hoping to land where I want to be. And that is not a good plan. So I see these guys go out, or even if they do have a plan, it's like, I'm going to go be good at this drill that I saw on Instagram. You're like, okay, cool. Well, they're not giving away a world champion drill category. And, like, why are you doing this drill specifically? Right. Well, it's done out of a competition rig on a competition target in a competition setting, but I only carry self-defense. It might be a waste of time, man. Like you might get a lot more out of just doing 5 minutes of dry fire with your concealed carry gun and then going and hanging out with your kids for the other 45 minutes that going and shooting that drill.
So train for the purpose.
Train for the purpose. But then once you say, hey, I'm going to go down to the range and I'm going to do this, you have to define success immediately. And that's one thing that I run into in the special operations community all the time is if you have A-type high performing people, if you do not define success right off the beginning, they will feel like a failure the entire time because you could have always done one more rep. You could have always done a little bit better. There's no success. And I tell them, it's like you put a 110-pound rucksack on, just start walking up that hill. You'll get to the top, but it's going to hurt. So, but if I define success of like, hey, move to this point, right? And we go out there and we say, we're going to start with a 2-second pistol draw and we're going to get everybody to a 150 pistol draw. And then we do it. We still got that 110-pound rucksack on. We're still walking to the top of the mountain, but we're just going to stop and turn around and be like, oh, the view's improving. Cool. Go us, right? Now keep walking up the hill. But if you don't say this is successful, you have guys that just train and train and train and train and train. And they feel like a failure all the time because there's always a guy that's a little bit better, right? But what I try to do anyways, I want to get with the team leaders and be like, hey, how good first of all, what's important, right? So like we got our map here. We kind of know where we're at. If we don't, in the first couple of drills, we'll know where we're at. And then when we talk with the team leaders, it's like, where are we going? We want to get, half these guys are going into an environment where they can only carry a pistol. Well, okay, cool. Maybe pistol's important this week, right? Or, hey, we're going to a place where, odds are, if we get into an engagement, it's not going to be past a room. So we don't need to work on 200-meter stuff or, so we set the vision of the most likely engagement and then we train to that. There's and then we always train the core skills, right? So because like I said, I feel like it's the instructor's responsibility to know what it is. It's like if you're going to engage with a rifle, you need rapid time to first shot, you need the ability to manage recoil, and you need the ability to transition targets. No matter what, those 3 things will be necessary. So like, let's make sure we're good at those 3 things, and then we'll start getting fancy from there.